Hello everyone, my name is Andrew from Roby Events, and we are event and wedding planners based in the Washington, D.C. area. So today we are giving you a behind the scenes look of what goes into creating your own style shoot. A lot of times you see what we do post-production, but you don't really see what we do to get to magazine shoots and spreads and things like that. So I'm going to take you behind the scenes today so you can see everything that goes into creating your own style shoot. So one of the biggest pieces of any style shoot is the actual table that we are designing for inspiration. So what I'm going to show you all is how we bring to life a table from the linen, which is our base, all the way up to the centerpieces, the floral arrangements, and everything else that we actually have to do to create inspiration and an idea for you to use at your next event. So let me show you how to do that. So the foundation of setting a table for a style shoot or any event is that you always want to have a great linen. For this particular table, we chose a pattern style linen that was black and white because of course our color palette is black, white, yellow, green, and gray. So choosing that really helps us identify what our base will be for a style shoot or any given table. So what we did is we used that pattern for the black and white linen, and then we chose a metallic black base plate, which is what you see here. And then we went with a really creative off the grain china for the dinner plate that you see on the table with this. Of course, our gold is our accent piece, so we decided to use these flatware as that accent, in addition to our geometric shaped tea light holders that we're gonna have in here. Of course, pulling in the more masculine feel for this particular shoot is these really creative mugs that we're using for our Moscow Mule drinks. That we're going to be having there. So as you expand to the table, you can begin to see it come to life with all of the other different elements, as far as our greenery, which is one of the things that we wanted to have. We wanted a flower component in the table, but we wanted it to be very minimalistic, not a true centerpiece per se, but something that still provided the trend that you're seeing throughout the year, which is greenery. We use these creative candlestick holders, and we're going to have some gray and black candlesticks in there. And then of course, continuing on with the green trend, we're using these really cool napkins that we have that are going to give us the perfect pop of color that this black and white type of table has. And we're not going to really do nothing, pretty spectacular with the napkins, but we're going to just create a trifold for the napkins and place those underneath the dinner plate, so that way you can still see that pop of color, but it doesn't take too much of the attention that the minimalistic type of shoot we're going with. So you'll see that there. So other than that, this is really how you create your style shoot table. So we've completed the table, and I wanted to show you guys everything that went into the creation of this modern greenery style shoot that we have. So we previously talked to you all about the black and white linen really serving as our base to tie everything together, but also giving us the ability to have certain colors pop from that table linen. So in going with this, we chose to use a green linen, a green napkin for tying in the color for the modern greenery that also helped to support the actual greenery that you see in the flowers here. So we used that on top of the black sequin base plate, but we also wanted to go a little bit step further against the traditional china that we would use. Versus having a circular china, we got something that was more in the geometric shape, which you can see on, you know, the candle holders and the different vases that we actually have on the table, the candlesticks as well. So the whole thing of this is to create a modern type tablescape. So you can use that more so for the millennials who are more simplistic, but actually likes a lot of different shapes and colors and textures for their tablescape. So as we went through this, we gave everyone a mug for the Moscow Mule specialty drinks that we have. Specialty drinks are really coming into being a trend for a lot of the events that you see and weddings that you see. So giving them that automatically on the table so that way it encourages them to take part of that is a really good concept that we want to see more of, versus just having them to go to the bar and see that it's a specialty drink at the bar. So we've given them one wine glass, again trying to keep in that minimalistic type of a feel. You can see the gold accents on the table, again with our candle holders that we have, and then also in the flatware that we've placed on here. So all of these different pieces of decor really ties in what the table will bring about when you're looking at the overall presentation. Everything from the small pieces of the mirrored vases to the succulents to the different textures that you see on the vases that the flowers are in, and of course the whole color palette. We really wanted to keep this in the simple colors that we actually have. The gray, the black, the white, the green, and of course our accent color was the gold. And so I think that we did a really good job in pulling this together. Again, we encourage everybody just to play with whatever you place on the table for decor. There's no rule to how things look good or don't look good. The only thing that we ask that you keep in mind is the proper placements for your place settings, and that's about it. Everything else on the table really is up to you to create how you want it to be, keeping it in, you know, theme with the style that you have and what you're actually trying to do with this. So this is our table. This is what we came up with for our style shoot. And the next thing that we'll start to do is we'll show you what goes into the photography aspect of shooting the table, shooting the models that we have, and then anything else as far as the details for the menus, the invitation cards, RSVP suites, all of that kind of stuff. So that's what we have for you right now. So one of the most important aspect of a style shoot outside of actually shooting the table is shooting the models. You want to be able to work with your photographer and capture images of your models as if they're not really posing. So you want them in situations that really do reflect how a normal bride and groom would interact during their wedding at the reception table. So capturing the emotion from those shoots is what you really want to provide for your style shoot. Not everything will go according to plan, but using a great photographer to actually capture any aspect of your shoot that looks normal and not staged is the actual process that you want to go with. And even though you are creating a mood board for your style shoot, a lot of the times everything that you see on paper may make sense, but there are times that you get to a style shoot and it just does not make sense. So there's a lot of editing that goes into capturing the perfect image. Sometimes you have to replace people, you have to replace concepts just so that way you can get the perfect photo that is captured. What may look good on paper may not really reflect that outcome in an image. So here we're trying to figure out what is the best angle either with our female model or with our male model, and it just so happens to be our male model looks the best in images holding the cake during the style shoot. I can live with that. In this case, you can see that we've created a wedding cake so that way we can capture, which a lot of couples actually want to see in a style shoot to give them inspiration. Everything now is all about customization. The last part of the style shoot that we have is capturing all the details, which is the up close shots of what we actually did. It's one thing to see a concept from a big perspective, but actually going in up close to see what we actually did that each person will see at their table place is what we want to do now. So this really gives you more of an idea of how to create your style shoot or how to create your tablescape for your wedding or your event. So we have Dolores that's actually creating those images right now by taking them up close for the table. So that is all that we have to show you guys for how to pull together your own style shoot or whatever you want to do for your upcoming wedding or event. We covered everything from hair and makeup to wardrobe to how to properly set up a table from start to finish, and then lastly, capturing the details. So my name is Andrew from Andrew Roby Events, and we are event and wedding planners based in the Washington, D.C. area. You guys take care.